Hey, what is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Of course, you know who I be, Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, back again, once again. It's the classic and the make it, ladies and gentlemen. First off to the channel, make sure you subscribe, notify, do all the good things to make yourself well versed in the Good Doc's content. Everything you need to know about yours truly shall be listed in the link in the description area below. Not here to waste time. Let's go ahead and dive head first into this one, in the deep end, all right? Because this is something that we've really got to talk about, or it's a question that I feel like we need to answer. Are foreigners above the law in the Philippines? Are foreigners above the law abroad? The obvious answer is no. Of course, nobody's above the law. But the reason why I bring about this particular topic of conversation is because I've noticed in the past, more so recently too, just how much cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bills, y'all. Okay? Money can damn near get your ass out of anything in the Philippines. Now, I'm not gonna lie, man. I paid my way out of quite a few parking tickets. Paid my way out of having to go to the LTO to do some things here and there. But if I can use my money to do that, how much further can my money get me into getting me out of deeper, more serious situations in country? You see, I've known people to pay off families for different reasons. I've known people to, and you hear about it through other YouTubers too. And I've seen this. It's not anything that's personally directly related to myself, but I've just seen how much money damn near rules everything around me, especially in the Philippines, guys. Cash goes a long way in country, and I'm definitely not telling you anything that you probably haven't heard before, but the debate pretty much is, are foreigners above the law as long as they can afford to pay for the law or pay to get themselves out of things? And it's something that eats away at me, hardcore, because I'm thinking of worst case scenario. What is the absolute worst thing that a foreigner can do in country? And you can think about it and you could know it. And I mean, I don't really have to go into the details of like the absolute worst things that foreigners can do in the country. You've seen people getting arrested for it before. Foreigners getting arrested for it before. But had they probably had the right connects, had they been able to talk to the right people, had they been able to get money to the right people, who are we to say that they would have not been able to get away with it? Now, you would sit there and say, well, the Philippines isn't going to tolerate this, or the Philippines isn't going to tolerate that. You're talking about a generalization of what the Philippines is not going to tolerate. Who's to say that one judge or one prosecutor or one person is going to react the same as another? Who are we to sit there and say, yo, this person may not take the cash, but this person will. Now, I'm not sitting here trying to debate or talk about corruption in the Philippines, guys. There's corruption everywhere, so let's not even use that as a talking point. And please don't think that's where I'm going with this one at all. This has nothing to do with what you believe to be corruption in country or corruption in any country, because every country is fucking corrupt. Trust me. Green speaks volumes anywhere in the world. Them greenbacks speak volumes anywhere and everywhere that you go. So let me make sure I make that abundantly clear. But going back to in country, does it necessarily make you, or does it necessarily put foreigners above the law if they can afford to pay their way out of damn near anything? It's a scary thought. It's a real one. And I can honestly say for myself, recently my financial situation has gotten just a little bit better. I'm not gonna sit there and act like I'm rich. I'm not gonna sit there and act like I got bodies and shit like that. But I'm gonna sit here and tell you that from the time that I was in the Philippines last year, or I'm sorry, not last year, but the year before, to now, my financial situation has done a complete 360. I've been doing things recently that have definitely put me in a better financial situation. You know, I've been smart, I've been investing, I've been doing things. So to sit here and think that the money that I'm going to return with to the Philippines when I go there isn't going to take me a little bit longer than it would have when I was just a lonely kid living off of an allowance of about $6,000 a month, pesos, and making it work, huh? Come on, man. You know, I would not necessarily use my money to buy myself out of things, but I would definitely have an emergency fund that if I needed to grease a few palms, I would definitely make sure I had the money to do it. Again, this has nothing to do with whether you believe country is corrupt or not. It's just a talking point. It is a debate, something that I want to share in a dialogue with my audience, ladies and gentlemen. In the comment section is where I want you guys to light this sumbitch up. I want you guys to tell me exactly how you feel about this. Are you guys on board with me? Do you feel that foreigners are above the law as long as they got the money to pay their way out of anything? Or do you believe that, you know, just because they can afford to pay, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be able to get away with it? You know? Just because you have the money or the means to pay your way out of it doesn't mean you're going to get away with it, you know? And this isn't necessarily from a karma standpoint, but it's just the fact that, yo, you may have the money, but you have people that aren't willing to take money for certain bad, deviant things that some people may participate in the country, you dig? And I want to know, man, this is something that's been eating away at me for a long time because, you know, we have this conversation about are people above the law in certain countries or whatever. But the truth be told is money goes a long way anywhere that you go. And if you have the means, who are we to sit there and say otherwise, guys? Who are we to sit there and say otherwise that foreigners wouldn't be above the law in the Philippines? As long as they could afford to pay their way out of it. Again, I'm not sitting here, you know, being specifying, okay, this person. But what I'm saying is, in the general sense, man, overall, people, as long as they can afford to pay, who are we to say that they won't be able to skate away? All right. Now, what is in the darkness will soon come to light. I do believe that wholeheartedly. Eventually, as long as you continue to push yourself down that particular path, you know, eventually the shit gonna come out. But if you keep testing the waters, that's the best way for me to put it. So sometimes you need to call a spade and quit while you're ahead. If you've had to pay your way out of something before, you probably shouldn't do it again. That's what I'm gonna say personally, because there's only so many times you're gonna be able to get away with something. That is just my true belief. All right. So you might be above the law in certain situations, but sometimes you're going to come across that one that ain't willing to play by your rules, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to come across that one that ain't willing to rock with you the way that others may have. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe, and this is just me, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you, and this is coming from a foreigner that has paid his way out of certain situations. Again, my situations, as full transparent as can be, a lot dealing with traffic tickets and stuff like that. And Davao is hard as hell. Davao cops do not take money. I've tried it. I had a couple of them, and I'm not saying that anything wrong with that, guys. Don't take it to the extreme, all right? I've had a few, but there have been a lot that have declined, all right? They just write the ticket and keep it pushing, because once they write the ticket, once they rip it off, they can't stop, you know? So I respect that, and quite frankly, I don't care, man. The fine was never really anything dramatic. You know, I'd just be doing like 40 and a 30 or something like that. My speed was always an issue in country, you know, those speed limit signs, and those, they get super hella happy with those speed trigger guns and shit. So that was always my issue. Again, being fully transparent. I've never had to pay my way out of any type of illegal activity or anything like that. But I'm just saying, man, it's interesting. And for me only, I'll tell you, just my opinion only. And this is the way the doc rides, man, and I live and die by the code. If I've had to pay my way out of something before, and I mean something nefarious, something deviant, something really fucked up, I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't do it again, or I would be a little bit careful the next time, you know? It's just crazy because I don't want to push the envelope. I'm that type of person that if I'm able to skate away one time, probably not in my best interest to go ahead and keep trying to, you know, beat a dead horse, because there's going to be times when you're not going to be able to pay your way out of it. I can think of a lot of foreigners. You've seen them get arrested before. There's some names that we could drop right now that you've probably seen that were arrested for things that they needed to be arrested for. And it took a long ass time for them to get arrested because they've had YouTube channels for years pandering the exact same shit. But it only took a couple years ago for them to actually get arrested, right? But we're not going to say any names over here. If you don't know who I'm talking about, you're just in the dark, ladies and gentlemen, and you need to ask around. Some dude was participating in some nefarious activities, pandering a certain group of people in certain age ranges and shit like that, and promoting Jollibee meals and shit like that. And I need not say no more. Just dropping you some clues. But who's to say that he probably wasn't greasing palms to begin with, guys? That's my question. Who are we to say that he wasn't greasing a few palms before he actually got caught up? That's all I'm saying, man. Just think about it, man. I'm telling you, if I get away with something, chances are I'm probably not going to push my luck anymore. Because that's just the type of person I am. I'm just not going to push my luck anymore. Let me know how you feel in the comment section below. Are foreigners above the law? Yes, no, or maybe. Can you grease enough palms to keep yourself above all shit? Let me know. Peace.